Hello guys, welcome back to Comic Book Cafe, and this time around we're talking about and reviewing The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 9 that just came out. For those who are not up to speed about Spider-Man at this point, who may have read it in a while, basically The Amazing Spider-Man has basically gotten a whole lot bigger. Now a lot of this stuff really truthfully, came from, again, before Secret Wars. This beginning of the expansion that we know of Spider-Man started when Doc Ock became Spider-Man, and during his time as Spider-Man, and he expanded Peter Parker beyond what he used to be. So now Peter Parker owns a big company called Parker Industries, and he's got cutting technology and has offices across the globe now. And his new success, obviously has brought him enemies, like the terrorist group called the Zodiac Robber, and So there you go. And the Zodiac Cat was able to locate the Ori, O-R-R-E-R-Y, an ancient and mysterious artifact, and basically S.h.i.e.L.D. mobilized quickly, and Scorpio remained interested, got to capture the members, but Scorpio remains at large. And this story starts off with Scorpio Rising, Part 1, One-Way Trip is what it's called. Now, let's say this. They've expanded Spider-Man beyond what he used to be, so the limitations of Spider-Man are now gone as a character. Some of the things that made him an ordinary person are now gone with the new concept of Spider-Man. But this book starts off with basically, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, in Spider-Man's suit, and Nick Fury comes to basically his, Parker Industries looking for Peter Parker. And Spider-Man's there, and Spider-Man comes in, hey, can I help you? And he kind of does this little spiel pretending like, hey, Parker's really smart, but he can't figure everything out. Let me tell you, what his idea was. I figured out what he needed to do. Hey, you can come with me. Trying to play out that he's not Peter Parker. The security guards, who originally weren't going to let Nick Fury in. And then we get to the elevator, they kind of do a high five and realize, the other knew the other one was faking it and just trying to make sure it wasn't, people, they didn't think it was Peter Parker. So anyway, as there are little things going on, we have Scorpio over here. Now Scorpio, by the way, looks really cool, but he has two people that basically, they have this programming game that basically they can see the whole day. They can see a day ahead, so they know what's going to happen. But there's this window at like midnight where they reset, where there's a small window where you can do something that they can't see during that time period. Well, anyway, during that little window, Nick Fury and Spider-Man at Parker Industries, because Parker no longer has a limitation, shoots off in his new rocket to space to take out, the machine up there. And when they go up there, they realize eventually they're there, and they use satellites to attack, like S.h.i.e.L.D. satellites to attack them. But they end up outsmarting him and ultimately take him down. And like Nick Fury makes a comment, those cost $26 million a piece. And here's where you get to comic book weirdness, right? Like some things in comic books, you go, there's no way this could happen in real life. It's still cool, but there's no way this could truthfully happen. This is where you gotta let go of disbelief when you read a book like this, right? So one thing leads to another. Spider-Man ends up start plummeting to Earth, and all the stuff he's wearing, he ends up only having his suit on, and he's flown to Earth, and eventually, what he calls Doc Ock's for lover, anyway, he calls her, I think that's what she was, and ultimately he gets this webbing shield thing around him as he pummels the Earth in a fireball, and eventually he hits the ground, and he survives, right? In real life, he'd be squished like a bug, right? That's probably what happened, but this is comic book fiction. There's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of action between this, but it's really, details like the satellites attacking him, and, Nick Fury has his weapon they could just shoot, and, Spider-Man's able to use, his stuff to, that's what ultimately leads to, Spider-Man pummeling to the Earth. He survives, obviously, he kind of happy survives, and then he gets, big explosion thing happens, he's laying on the ground, and Scorpio, standing over Spider-Man at the very end, basically say he's going to die. That's the gist of the book. This was actually a really decent book. It's not as quick or bad as it sounds. The artwork was awesome. I always like again, new villains I've never really seen before, because I did miss a chunk of the last since Civil War. I really didn't super keep up with comic books. So to see a new villain is always exciting for me. It's not that I don't like the old villains. I think sometimes you need to add fresh blood to a book. And again, with this Marvel reboot but not reboot, so it's a new thing is what Marvel did on like DC was they rebooted it, but they didn't. There were certain things about characters are the same, but then other things in the universe have changed. So the history is not gone from Marvel that happened in the past. It's just some things can be different. To release them from the shackles that they've caused for themselves. Let's be honest here. From the past and things they've done in the past. But anyway, this was a good issue. If you look for a villain you never really read about before, this would be a good start. And this starts a new storyline, so you can jump right aboard the book and not worry about like being lost. Like you can just jump on this book and just go for the ride from this story, and you'll learn about Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man, and his life now without having any issues. Overall, I enjoyed the book. Again, I don't know why, but I always have enjoyed Spider-Man's books. The only time I didn't enjoy Spider-Man's books, and I'm sure a lot of people would say this, was back when the Clone Wars happened many years ago, and that story just dragged on forever. It could have been much shorter. But overall, I enjoy it. This is, if you never read Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, or Spider-Man in general, and you want to jump aboard, maybe because you've seen him in the Civil War trailer or something, this would definitely be a good chance to jump in and read the book and just go from there. Anyway, what are your guys' opinions of Amazing Spider-Man number 9? Did you like it? Not like it? What do you think of Scorpio? Or maybe in general, what you think of what's going to happen? Love to hear your guys' opinions like always. I'll make another video soon. Later, guys.